Hello, hello, hello. Signing on, and I am on. My church is fasting, so I am definitely reading and praying. And one of the things that I learned today, that I read today, Joshua, I always loved the book of Joshua. But one of the things that I got out of the book of Joshua today was in verses 1 and 2, Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. And it basically talks about after the death of Moses. So Moses is passed on now, and God is telling Joshua that he's going to be with him. So he says to Joshua, and he calls Joshua Moses' minister. Minister means servant. And it says, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now, therefore, arise, go over to the Jordan and all his people into the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. And then he tells him that every place he put his foot, whatever he do, God is saying, I'm going to be with you. So then I looked at Luke 16:12, and this is what I want to talk about today. How Joshua didn't just stumble onto everything that Moses had and was able to carry out what Moses did and to take the people into the promised land without this particular verse. Luke chapter 16:12, and it says, and if ye have not been found faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? So you have to be faithful over someone else's property and land or whatever, and to be able to get your own. So you got to ask yourself, if you're asking God, where's my house, where's my ministry, where's whatever it is that you want, that you're expecting God to give you, have you been faithful over someone else's? And so I asked myself that question, and I put a couple examples down. I know I was faithful over my mother's house. My mother was, when I first got started, I had to move my mom's house several times, at least 3 times. And the first 2 times, I was not faithful. I was like, why should I wash dishes? I ain't dirty them up. Why should I do this? I didn't do that. Why should I pay these bills when I didn't make them? It was like, why? So I had a lot of whys, and I wouldn't do it. The first 2 times I did it, I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not cooking for these people. They grown. They can cook for themselves. I had all that going on. The third time I moved in, okay, I'm like, okay, and I moved to my mom's house. This is my 3rd time. First of all, every time I came back with another kid. I had a husband, kids, and I moved into my mom's house. That was horrible. But that's where I was at that point. This was my son, my youngest is 23. This is about over 23 years ago. And I remember having to move back into my mom's house. And I was like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. But I had to learn the lesson. The last time I moved into my mom's house, I was able to live there. And I took care of my mom. I cooked. I didn't care who didn't cook. I cooked. I had food on that table. I cleaned the dishes up. I bought my mom used to love bleach. She used to love bleach and soap powder and Pepsis. That's when Pepsis is out. And I would buy her all of that, make sure she was stocked up in coffee. She would have people over, and they would drink coffee all day. So I made sure she was stocked up with coffee. I didn't care whether they donated coffee or not. I just like, because before I used to be like, well, they need to bring coffee too. Come on, my mom ain't gonna keep buying. I'm not gonna keep buying all this here for everybody. I mean, I had that kind of attitude. So I had to wind up keep coming back. I kept coming back. And then the last time I came, I cooked, I cleaned, I bought all the coffee, even though I wasn't drinking it. I bought all the cream, I bought all the equal packets, I bought everything. And I made sure my mom was happy. I made sure that her friends were happy, that everybody had what they need. I didn't care if anybody gave her anything. If anybody contributed, I just did it. So I became very faithful over my mother's house. And when I moved out, she was like, oh, no, I don't want you to move. She was like, she really wanted us to stay because, I mean, I basically did everything in that house, everything. So when I moved out, and I did it because I wanted to. It wasn't even no drama, nothing. I just did it. And because I was like, I'm going to take care of my mom. I'm going to make sure she's happy. And I did. And as a result, she was, we moved, she dreaded it. And so now I own my own home. First, I never wanted to own my own home. Never. It just kind of like happened. In 30 days, I had a house. We bought a house. Unusual. I don't know how that happened, but God, of course, God made it happen. I love my twin. I have a twin, and it's nice. It's a nice little house for us, a nice starter house, and I love it. I love it. I love taking care of it. I love all of it. So I was faithful over my mother's house, and God gave me my own. And it was a very easy process. It's just easy. And then a second thing I was faithful over, I was always faithful over like different ministries, churches, and things like that. I was very faithful. And I did what I was supposed to do there. I showed up to did whatever was a meeting, whatever they was asked to do. I used to show up. And then I was a part of another ministry. I just was like, whatever they told me to do, I did it. I drove people places. I showed up at the church. I did everything. I ran whatever they told me to run. I did everything I was supposed to do. So as a result, God has given me like not a ministry, because it's not really a ministry. It's just it's beyond the four walls. So it's not within my church. It's like it's people I meet that are unchurched and they don't want to go to church. They won't go to church. So I have a pastor's heart for that kind of stuff. So I help people until they find their pastors. I'm not their pastor. But God has given me a pastor's heart until they find their pastors. And, of course, I recommend them to come to my church. My church is awesome. Awesome. My pastor is off the chain. He is a teaching machine. And he is a leader. And he lives what he teaches. I love my church. But there's people that I cannot get to come there. So until I can get them to come to my church or these other churches that I'm affiliated with, I send them to that church or to my church. But if they won't go, I will operate in their life as a pastor until they find their church. So I've been doing that. I have a couple people that I am just leading, doing Bible studies with and talking with and praying with and things like that. But my point is that I was faithful over those different ministries and things that was handed off to me as a minister or whatever I operated as at the time. And then God put it on my heart to help other people get to their churches, because it's one body, and you need a pastor. You need a pastor. I am not a pastor, but I have a pastor's heart. I don't know if you know the difference or not, but I have a pastor's heart. But I like to move around too much. I can't stay in one location. I like to move and do stuff, and I could never be in just one place. I have to do stuff. So I would never hardly be at church if I was a pastor. I would never be able to do that, because that's just going to drive me crazy. So God has put people in my life to help get to the next place, get to their pastor. Like, we won't find your pastor because I know you have one. So I do all this stuff with them. Funerals, I do whatever they need, Bible studies. I pray with them. I tell them how to do stuff that's spiritual that they don't know about because they don't have a church home. You have no idea how important it is to have a church home, because when you're having problems, you need to run to your church. Spiritual problems, all that kind of stuff, praying with, all that kind of stuff. You need to be in the church. You got to. So my point is, I read Joshua chapter 1 today, and that's what stuck out to me, because my pastor just talked about it on Sunday, about how you're going to be, if you ask God to give you your own ministry or own church or own whatever, if you're not faithful of another man's stuff. So another man's house. So I'm asking you the question, are you faithful where you at? Are you still wondering why you have not received the things that you believe God was called you to receive? And so if you on your job and you like, okay, why I'm not the boss yet? If you want to be a boss, everybody don't want to be a boss. Yeah, being a boss is crazy. So everybody don't want to be a boss. But those who do want to be a boss, are you faithful? Are you doing jobs that's not your job? Are you asking, can you help out? Are you always early? Are you staying late? Are you picking up things that your boss can't get to, whatever, before they even ask you? So maybe that's why you're not a boss. If you're not doing those things, you have to show yourself to be like Joshua. Joshua was off the chain with Moses. And when it was time to transition, Moses was the man because he proved it. He showed it. He was there. And so he did what he had to do. It wasn't like it wasn't about seniority. It was about he was doing his job. He was doing more than he's supposed to have done. And God selected him. So just think about that. It was in Luke 16:12. And it says, if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? So, and that came up because I read about Joshua, and it says, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over to this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land, which I do give to you. So here it is. Moses was next because he did what it took to become next. So I am going to sign off, and because I was on my lunch break, late lunch break. So I'm going to sign off, and I will talk to you guys. I don't know, maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I'm even going to do another one, but this was on my heart to do today, so I did it. So are you faithful where you at? And so that God can give you your own. So you guys enjoy the rest of your night, your day, evening. Today is Wednesday, November the 11th. It's the first day of our fast. And that's where I was led to read Joshua chapter 1. And that's what stuck out to me. And I just wanted to share it. Just wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm going to go do some other things on my lunch break. But just wanted to stop by and talk to you guys. This is Dr. Camp signing off. And if you want to reach me, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Press like, put a comment, share. And if you want to reach me, know more about what I do, I am a life coach. I can life coach in a lot of different areas. If you want to know more about that, you can dial 267-217-3220. You can look at my website, beginagainllc.net. Or you can email me, beginagainproverbs2416@gmail.com. Okay? So you guys have a great evening. It's a little rainy out, but I love the rain. I don't know why. I just love the rain. So you guys have a good day. God bless you. Dr. Camp signing off.